Hello, Northwest Arkansas. This is Colley Bailey with Fathom Realty, bringing you another monthly market update. This time we are sliding head first into my favorite season here in Northwest Arkansas, and that is fall, when the wonderful, beautiful fall autumn colors come out to play. And this is our September 2021 monthly market update, where we're going to look back at the numbers that the real estate market brought us in August. All right, so let's take a look at today's market snapshot. And as you can see, we only have 0.81 months of supply, so less than 1 month of supply. And what that means is that if we had no other houses coming into the market, we would have about 24 days worth of houses, and that's it, selling at the current rate. So let's take a look at what that means. We only had, as of 9/8, we only had 861 active residential properties across Washington and Benton Counties. We had 2,400, so almost 3 times that many, under contract to be closing coming up pretty soon. And within the last 30 days, we had 1,063 that did go ahead and close and transfer ownership. Now, just to keep in mind, a traditional seller's market is less than 4 months of supply, and we are less than 1 month of supply. That's why I keep calling this one a super seller's market. And digging into these numbers further and giving you a historical comparison, let's take a look. So this is this year, from here to here, in numbers of active and pending properties for that given month. And as you can see, most of this year we've actually been below the bottom of the 2019 and going into 2020 winter season. Typically, our winter seasons give us the lowest inventory counts of the entire year. And this year, 2021, most of this year, we've actually been below the lowest inventory that we've had any of the last 5 years. In fact, 2016, 17, 18, 19, we never got to this low inventory level. In fact, all of those years were higher than we're at now. So last month, August, we actually did see an increase in inventory, which is pretty rare. Typically, we start the downhill slide into the winter for August. As you can see, most of these years, that's kind of what happened. But the good news here for our market, we've been inventory starved this summer, and so it was really good to see that inventory level go up a little bit in August. And in fact, this is the only month that we got below the 19 and going into 20 winter season low from last year. But as you can also see, our sales numbers from the beginning of the year to our June number just went up and up and up. And they didn't have this gap. Remember when the COVID pandemic hit, it actually killed our sales numbers for a few months there, and then it kind of spiked up in the middle of that summer. Well, we didn't get that dip right here, or that slowdown. So we actually have had stronger sales numbers this year than last year, even with less inventory. So our inventory is less, and our sales numbers are actually higher. And see, we peaked at about the same level. And then instead of dropping off, our July and August numbers are kind of hanging out at the same, in that same level on the chart. So we had 1,143 sales in the month of August here in Northwest Arkansas, and we were holding about 3,343 active and pending in the month of August. And as we looked at on that last chart, most of these are actually pending. And so they will be closing in the month of September and will actually potentially see a jump up in the number of closings happening in September, which is highly, highly unusual. So what is that doing for our prices? Well, when you have high demand and low supply, it's going to keep those prices going higher. In fact, we are hanging out at our historical highs for our average sale prices. And if you take a look, in June, we hit our highest average sale price ever, which was about $338,000. Then it dropped in July to $331,000, and we're still kind of hanging out in the similar area at $326,000 with our August numbers. Now our median is still hanging out right around $275,000 as well. And look at these average price per square foot numbers. So in Benton and Washington County, we're seeing numbers into the $170 a square foot range. In Bentonville, we actually got up above $200 a square foot. And I remember 3 years ago, new construction was even selling at $120 to $125 a square foot. And look at where we are now for the entire general market, new construction and resale homes included. So here's what all this means to you. The higher prices that we've been seeing here in Northwest Arkansas seem to be firmly establishing themselves, and I would expect our prices to continue to go higher from here given the current market forces. And if you've been thinking about selling your home, there's never been a better time to max out the sale price and cash in on that equity. You can check out the best strategies to do that at my pre-listing Price Accelerator program. You can find links to that below. And then if you need to buy your next home, you've got to check out my Hidden Homes inventory program, where we find the overlooked, the unlisted, and the up-and-coming properties that other buyers just aren't finding in the current market. So if any of that sounds like an interesting conversation that you would like to have with me, just click on my calendar below. You can find your own time on my calendar, block out either a Zoom call or a phone call or an in-person meeting or a showing, whatever you'd like. Several different options there, but you can block out your own time on my calendar, and I'd love to meet with you then. Well, I hope this has been informative for you. Happy September. Thanks for watching this month's monthly market update.